former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, was known to be a close associate of Epstein. And these emails, which mostly are clustered between 2012 and 2016, show Barak and Epstein working together on a very broad range of projects around the world aimed at accomplishing multiple goals, first and foremost, achieving Israeli security and political objectives, but also helping generate revenue for Barak's own consulting business as he transitioned at that time out of a role as Israel's defense minister. It certainly wasn't like Epstein was working for Mossad or something like that. He was far more powerful than that. He was somebody who people who were working for Israeli intelligence, like Barak, continued to do throughout his career and throughout his life. They were looking for Epstein's help. So Epstein was somebody who had leverage over all these people. He was seen as someone more powerful than them. If I were to speculate, very conservatively, he was somebody who clearly had the ability to make individuals very wealthy if they were connected to him, if they were in his good books. So that could give him a sense of leverage over them. We know that he was heavily involved in global sex trafficking of minors to other elites. So one can only imagine what sort of leverage that may have also afforded him. But I think what he really was, it was a money launderer. He was a very talented, you could say, and influential money launderer. He had connections to people who were involved in the Iran-Contra and so forth, and other episodes, very important episodes in U.S. political history in the last few decades. Epstein seemed to be somewhere near the core of many of them. So, money laundering is something which is very useful to intelligence agencies. And if you look at Iran-Contra, for instance, a lot of how that was facilitated was by, through the need of masking the origins of funds which could not be officially allocated by state budgets because that would open them up to public scrutiny, which people in power and people in the security establishment did not want. So money laundering, if you're able to do it on a large scale, it's very useful to people who would like to conduct cloak-and-dagger political operations and military operations off the books. So he was somebody who seemed to be heavily involved in that. He had certainly very extensive connections to people who were known to be involved in that. And I think that, the word financier, as you sort of alluded to, is a bit of a euphemism. He was a fixer, he was a rainmaker, he was all these terms one could use. I think none of them fully grasped the full scope of what he was involved in and who he was.